All right, so I got myself into a little bit more than what I thought I was going to get into. This video was intended to be me doing the headliner. But as I got under here and started looking, that front piece of trim is what holds the front of the headliner in. And so I started thinking, well, if I do that and I get the headliner up and then I go to take out the front windshield later, am I going to run into some problems? So let me get ahead of that and take the front windshield out. Ah, what a mess. The front windshield was already cracked. It was cracked and spider webbed all over the place. So saving it was not my concern. But trying to, and I thought I was just going to pay Safelite to come out and do it later. But then I thought, let me get it out now. And that way I can clean around all these tracks. There's no rust, but just to clean it all up so when it's painted down in the crevices and not up to anything. I wanted it painted around and to clean it up before the headliner. So originally I had this, and I think I've had this for a while, so I think that this is what I used to take out the back glass a long time ago. And it works okay. But in certain instances, like when you get down towards the dash, you're going to run the risk of scraping it across the dash and then grooving the dash. So I didn't want to use that. So I went and got me another tool, and that's this one. I got this from Harbor Freight, so it didn't cost a terrible amount of money. And initially, I started here, and it was like pretty hard to do. Then I got a heat gun, and actually, it was my dad suggested the heat gun. I was thinking about using one, and he brought it up, and then I was like, you know what, I better just try it. So I got the heat gun on it, and started pulling, and it was going like a hot knife through butter. It was going perfect. However, whoever put this windshield on, it was before my ownership. If you look at the gap between this pillar and this glass, it's about 3/4 of an inch. It's the same as the top, 3/4 of an inch. You go on to this side. Well, I've destroyed it because I had to, but it was about 1/4 of an inch. That's actually right where it was at. 1/4 of an inch. And because it was so close, I couldn't get that knife down to scrape it out. In addition, these plastic dry rotted clips for the trim were in the way, and this whole channel was filled up with glass. I mean, not glass, with I don't know if they use the butyl or it might be the caulk or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but it was all filled up. So it was damn near impossible to get anything through here. So what I ended up doing is I taped up the window because there's glass going everywhere, little jars of glass just spraying everywhere. So I put this out just to keep the glass from kind of contained in an area, and crossed it up. This is duct tape, so it's not going anywhere. And then I taped the edges because I had to come in here with a screwdriver and start prying it away just to get it to pop. The bottom, I was able to slice through it, but I can't get down around this corner. So that corner on both sides, I haven't gotten to. So that's where I'm at right now. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is maybe just seeing if I can push it out from, because if you look, it's coming on the top, and on the bottom it's cut probably, I'd say probably about 80% of the way. It's just this little corners on both sides. So maybe I heat up these corners a little bit, jump back in there, and then just try to push it, and I'll put a piece of cardboard up here so if it does pop out, it kind of buffers it between the hood. But I think that's how I'm gonna go. And like I said, that was not my intent. When I came out here, my intent was to start going into the headboard, but my forward thinking brain, or my maybe it's just the retarded thought process. Thought I need to get that out before I start doing anything else. And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to put the cardboard up, and then I'll heat these corners up, and then I'll just get in from behind it and see if I can push it out. And if it peels out, perfect. I'll probably have to come along in here and clean them up. But even if it rips partially out and I got to clean them up, fine, I'll do that. I'm leaving these in because I want to use these as the pivot on this glass, because if I take these off and it starts to come down and it starts hitting my windshield wiper motors or start sliding too much, so I'm going to use that as the pivot. But yep, that's where I'm at, and that's the mess I'm in. I've been putting the vacuum on overtime because every time I see some glass flop around, I try to get in and vacuum it up, just stay on top of it, because I can imagine it's probably these little shards get in your clothes, get everywhere, and then next thing you know, everything's itching. But okay, guys, let me get back to it and see if I can do what I just said. All right, later. All right, so I've got the window out. I mean, it's not out, but it can come out now. So it's just sitting there until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. I might stick it inside that box, just kind of keep all the glass together, and then break it up little pieces and put it in a bag and throw it in the trash. But this is some of the stuff I found in the dash that up by the window, with high-speed combs from the 70s and 80s, some bingo cards, and then I'm going to hide this guy's name, but it's an identification card for John Deere. He worked at John Deere apparently. And a pen. There's other change too. It got sucked up in the into the vacuum, because I was trying to stay on top of all the, like I said, the glass shards and stuff like that. So I didn't have to kick it out or anything. I just got in there and started pushing it, found a couple of tight spots, worked the tight spots out. Never even needed this because it didn't go that far. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it for today, and then I'm going to come back out here tomorrow and then clean that up, put that somewhere, and then go to where I was supposed to be doing in the first place, or what I thought I was going to do. But yeah, one of the things I said is I wore gloves, leather gloves, and I wore that face mask with that basically the eye protection, because there was little glass shards flying everywhere, and I just didn't want one to go flying in my eye. You know, I've already had an eye issue with metal falling in it. So the last thing I need is more glass. Go back to the eye doctor, and they would start to question me. All right, guys. Let me wrap this up for tonight, and then we'll come back in tomorrow. One of the things I'm going to do too is order refinishing paint for all the interior pieces. But before I do that, first things first, let me do the headliner. Then I'm going to pull the interior pieces out, the plastic pieces, minus the door panels, because the door panels I'm going to get new ones. But the rest of it, I'm going to make sure that it's good plastic, and when I push on it, it's not so decayed or so brittle it just falls apart, because if it is, then I'll just get new stuff. But I'm hoping that all this is salvageable so I can clean it all up and then give it a shot of the camel tan that it so deserves. All right, guys, let me stop talking. Later. All right, I got the window out. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. What I did is I just pulled it off, set it in that box on the floor, and then I went and put some tape across it, just so if it started to go crazy or shatter too much. And then I broke it into like thirds, and then folded it up on each other, and then tossed it in a trash bag and threw it away. I did find this, and this is worse than what it's bigger than what it initially looked. Initially it looked like just a tiny little rust stain, but I started picking at it with a scribe, and I cleaned it all out. So this is not that bad. I mean, I've seen a lot worse. So I went and cleaned it all up, sanded it up. I got a wire wheel that can go down in that little hole. It's one of this little guy right here. So I got that guy in there, sanded it up. It's not that bad. It doesn't even go through the next one. And then I sprayed Rust Fix-It on it. That's why it looks a little wet, just on this whole corner area. And what I'll do is I'll go and put fiberglass filler in there, sand it out. And I've already ordered, yesterday I ordered camo interior paint for my interior. And it's like 4 or 5 cans. There's a primer, there's 3 cans of the actual color of camel, and then there's 1 can of like a clear coat protectant or something like that. So what I'll do is I'm not worried about my door panels at all. I'm just worried about these things like in the back, and then the sail panels or whatever it is. Get those things, probably the center console as well, and then the interior pieces that go up on the top. I've got 1 left because I got to take my headliner down, and then I've got one of these pillars. These go right here. So I'll clean these all up. These are metal. Those other ones are plastic. But I'll clean all that up, and then I'll spray paint them that camel color. Put the headliner in, and then that way I can put pieces of my interior in. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it as far as the step by step, but the door panels, I think I'm getting either brand new ones or I'm going to redo my old ones. But the seat, so I keep going back and forth with the seats. The front seats, I think, and like I want to cut it up. It used to be all camel, everything was camel, but now I'm thinking to make the seats black, and then the headliners in camel, the carpet's camel, and then obviously all the plastic and door pieces are camel. Then I thought about getting custom buckets. So like I've got Corbeau in my Bronco, and I love the way they feel. And then my Crown Vic has another brand, but it's kind of an off-brand. I don't like those so much. So we'll see whether it's to keep those original seats there and just recover them. I did order a hog plier kit, so that whether it's this car, well, I'm going to reupholster the back ones for sure. So those will be done for sure. But whether I put a new set in on the front or reupholster what I've got existing, that's still TBD. And this is kind of where I'm at with how far do I go down the rabbit hole before it's actually painted, or do I not and I wait for it to paint. But I like the fact that since everything is out, and I can, when I paint it, I can get that to go over and go down and around, and so when everything lays in, there's no edges that can peel up. I like that idea of being able to do that. That's why there's nothing in the sides. I haven't put anything in the sides, just because I want to try to have. Now I understand that when I go to I'm going to have to start pulling all this stuff back off that I already put back in, but such is the beast. So I started cleaning up around here too, and what I did is I used a heat gun, and this is a wood chisel, but I would just peeling it right off, and then same thing all the way around here. I stopped right here, and then I used a regular knife, and then I trimmed it up and cleaned it up. So right now it's pretty clean. I'd probably go over it with a wire wheel or sand disc or something before it's painted, but it's looking not too bad right now. So this is where that minutia I was talking about earlier. It's these little things. This side's going to be a little bit, but it's the same old, you know what I mean? It's freaking got glass chars all through this thing. I've already got one piece of glass stuck between my finger, wiping it up. This side's not bad. It doesn't even have any rust at all here. So I'm not worried about this side. This is a piece of glass. Yeah, it's a freaking slippery slope. If you would have asked me a year ago if this is how far I'd be going on certain things, I'd have told you no, I just want to get it running and get it patched up. But we're already down the rabbit hole a bit, so may as well hang out down there and see what's going on. All right, guys, I just wanted to bring you in on where I was at. I'm going to finish cleaning up the rest of this, butyl or whatever it is. Clean that up, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, later on. All right, guys, I've got most of the rubber cleaned off. There's a little bit left to do. Down here was the hardest part. I filled in that little hole. I sanded it down. I prepped it with that anti-rust, and then the backside wasn't bad at all, so it really wasn't even hard to fill. But one thing I did notice, the more I look at things, and the more you touch things, like when you wash your car, you'll find more scratches than if you never washed your car. You just ran through a car wash. But what I'm finding is these little stress cracks on my dash. I got one here, one here. I've got one here, one here. And I cleaned this up with I used Simple Green and then some of this to a green. We call them a green weenie, but I forget what they're really called, Scotch-Brite pad or whatever. But to kind of get the dirt out of these little grooves and clean all this up, and it came out pretty good as far as cleanliness. It's just as I'm cleaning it, I'm seeing these little stress cracks, and this is that slippery slope. If you want something, and here's another one in here too. It's just right here, and I think I had like bolts and nuts or something sitting there, so I really probably didn't even see that. But I may just overlook it, or I'm not sure yet. I've got the windshield off, so it's real easy to get at things. And I've seen some videos in the past, but I haven't seen them for a while, where you kind of cut a V in where the crack's at, and then you use like maybe a fiberglass filler or what have you, and you fill it in, and then you sand over it, and then there's things you can get to get this impression on there. So I might go that direction. I may do that because, like I said, I've got the paint coming, the interior paint coming in, so I'll have plenty of paint, especially since I'm not painting my door panels or anything like that, or the seats. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Surprisingly, the bottom piece of this was easier than the top, and then of course these down here were the harder parts. But I got to clean up just a little bit on the top and in a couple little places, but other than that, it's almost ready to put in our windshield in whenever I'm ready to do it. But I'm gonna hold off for right now, just because I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in what order. But I do have the headliner, which I'm going to transition to. Get the headliner, pull that down, pull these out. I'll recover these, because these, I might clean them up. They need to be recovered. They're all flabbing. I'll recover these, and then do the headliner, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys. Later. Hey guys, I got the headliner out. This is the back side, and then this is the other side of it. I'm going to vacuum it all up. Most of this stuff will probably come off with a vacuum. Yeah. Stuff will clean right up, and then I can go ahead and put the headliner down. But where am I going to show you? This was the headlamp. This is what I was talking about. You can see it had some sparkage and some fireage up there. So I bought a whole new wiring system, and the wiring, it gets run across here, it comes down back here, and then it runs through this little hole in the trunk, and then back here it plugs right in. It comes right up over the top of the wheel well, and then it plugs in right here. So Let me see, where's it at? Yeah, it's right here. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand without breaking that clip, because there's a anyway, you're gonna have to trust me on that. I'll pull it off with the when I get my other hand down. But just wanted to show you, this is the underside of my roof, and I've got all new cabling and everything here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to clean this up and then go ahead and put the new headliner on it. This is the old headliner right here, that perforated stuff, but that's not what I'm going with. I'm going with it's like Alcantara, so like a suede thing. But all right, guys, just wanted to bring you in real quick, show you where I was at before I continue on later on. Okay, I just wanted to bring you in one quick second just to show you something I figured out. So I was initially just vacuuming it, and it will pick it up, but what I tried was this wire brush. You don't push it too hard, you just have to push it down a little bit. Pretty easy. And then grab your vacuum. And it cleans it up so much easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Wire brush it, loosen up all that and then I'll start to prep it to put the material on. All right, guys, just wanted to show you that. Later. Hey guys, this video kind of went off the rails a little bit. Several days have passed since the last time I videoed, and there's a reason behind it. I changed my mind again, but to pick up where we left off, all the glass, I cleaned it all up. That's patched, and I put some primer on it. I'll fine sand that as soon as the paint comes in for the interior. That's supposed to come in a day or two. So once that comes in, then I'll blend it in with the rest of it and paint the interior. I actually went through all the interior pieces and took them out. So let me get this out of the way. These are all the door panels that right now I'm not planning on using, but I didn't clean those. I basically cleaned all the other pieces of interior trim, and gonna get wax grease remover, go over after I've cleaned it. I've already cleaned it. Go over the whole thing with wax and grease remover, and prep it for painting. I took the center console, wiped it down, cleaned it. I still lift my, I think it's a 200 watt. Yeah, I think it's a 200 watt, 200 watt EQ. I'm going to probably put that back in the car. I'm not a big stereo guy. So the existing, unless the cassette deck doesn't work, which is possible, unless that cassette deck doesn't work, I'm going to keep that Kenwood in there, hook up, and we're talking down the road because the stereo is the last thing on my mind, but hook that up to there, and then I'll get speakers for the back and figure out how I can put some speakers up front. I don't want the dash speaker, but maybe build them into the door panel. I don't know. We'll see. I've seen some guys tear up their console and put it in here, but I'm not real fond of it. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. So the reason I'm kind of off the rails, and so this video is not going as planned, because it was going to be the headliner, but I chose to go back to putting a roll bar in, and I ordered a roll bar, and it should be here any day. So that video is going to probably either come out before this one, or I'll send this one out and come back at it when I go back to the interior pieces. But I chose to put the roll bar in for the simple fact of I don't want to use these seat belts up on top. I want to use the H belts, and of course the crossbar on the roll bar is what you would tie your H harnesses into. So since I've got everything stripped out, and since there's nothing to really catch on fire in here while I weld in a roll bar, I'm going that route. And once that roll bar is in and all said and done, I can go back to doing my headliner and mount it in there, and then I won't have any fear of, you know, sparks catching it, burning it, what have you. But yeah, so this is my life. My brain just kind of goes a little bit everywhere, and I have an idea where I want to go, and sometimes I go off that path, and then you know, you're here, everything's tore out, might as well do it the way you wanted to do it in the first place instead of try to go back and then have to undo it and then or regret it. So that's where I'm at right now. Kind of stalling on the headliner and the interior, obviously, but everything is cleaned up on the where the windshield was at. It's all cleaned up. I just got this here and kind of deflect some dust and what have you. But yeah, and I would like to thank my brother, my late brother, because he collected a lot of Trans Am parts. And though I used my original piece here, I did have a issue with my, you know, parking reverse and neutral, and he had collected a couple different pieces here. But what happened is these pieces were cracked, and they're prone to crack on the ends. I don't know if you can see that crack right there. They crack on the ends because people tighten down the bolts a little too tight when they put it on the console. So I'll have to keep that in mind when I put mine back in, just not to torque it down. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I apologize. The video flow hasn't flown the way I was hoping it would flow. But if with any luck in the next few days, I'll have that roll bar here, and then I can just start to put the roll bar in. And once the roll bar is in, then it's full send. I did put these in, so I did make a little progress. These are the caps that go over the rails for and then this one will probably come back out because it has the speaker wire, and I'm going to replace this speaker wire and then rerun new speaker wire in there. But this will also help when I'm getting in and out. I don't keep ripping my pants on those sharp edges, because those sharp edges are sharp. But yeah, so I think I'm rambling right now. I just felt like I needed to kind of bring you up to date where I was at and why I'm at where I'm at. So waiting on the roll bar. All right, later, guys. All right, guys. I'm back to work on the headliner after a short delay. So I'm going to put you up there. Make sure you're all set up. All right, so I've already wiped it down again, the headliner, and this is what came. I haven't even opened it up, so I really don't even know what it looks like. All right, let's see what we got now that it's out. Pull this out. Toss this aside, and so that's what it's going to be. It's kind of like a Alcantara felt type deal. So I'm going to roll it out. I don't think I'm going to roll it out. Well, they got the ends crushed, so they're just got to undo them a little bit. Huh. That's actually a nice looking material here. Yeah, it is real nice. So where's my scissors? Because I'm gonna end up having to cut some of this. I want to give myself a little bit of extra for stretching and tucking and all that other stuff. So I've got probably got about, let's go, there's 2 inches right there. 2 inches in the front. Got plenty on the side. And then I'm going to give it a nice cut right down the back side. Alright, so I'll put this over in the corner for the time being. So what we got, man, this is so cool. I think this is better than the original stuff, that perforated pleather or whatever it is. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. What was that black piece? I'll have to clean that up, huh? Alright, so I think the plan is probably stretch these ends out so it doesn't pull back on itself. But the plan is to do half at a time. And since we're already on this first half, probably could just swing it over like this. And then I've got this 3M headliner adhesive. I probably should put some rubber gloves on. I did the headliner in my Bronco 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Went down to Joann's, found me some fabric, like gray, like a vinyl with some padding on the back, and it's held up summers, winters, no sagging. So hopefully I have the same luck with this. You know what? That's where I probably hit it with a scissor, maybe, I don't know. All right, I already wiped it down, but so the deal is you want to put glue on the board, and then you want to put glue on the actual headliner, and then from there you just let it sit for a while, get tacky. And then once it gets tacky, you whip it over. Yeah, there we go. The part is, I got this leftover cardboard from the roll bar just to catch any glue that might come down. All right. I said I was going to put some rubber gloves on, but I didn't. But I'm glad I put the cardboard down because it's shooting over. You can see it hitting the ground. Now I don't want to be stingy with this glue at all, but I got to keep in mind I need it for this whole headliner. Oh shit. Yeah, got to be cognizant of where I'm pointing this thing, because I got shot a little bit on the ground. So just aim it in towards the center. I want to make sure that I've got good, what do you call it, coverage, because one thing I don't want to do is start sagging on me. I see I'm going to shoot. I was almost going to shoot this way, but I'm going to shoot it in this way just so anything I miss goes. I got my ham radio on in the background. I was it was basically data. It's called FT8, but I got a few more countries that I hadn't hit yet, so I'm up to I think 45 countries, I believe. I've hit somebody from 45 different countries. It's kind of the nerdy side of me. Okay, I gotta pull this down. I don't want to get it on the other side of the board, but I do want to get it on the. And shoot it in. Oh shoot, I don't even need it that far out, I don't think. But I'm gonna do it anyway. I just want to make sure I got good coverage on both sides. I think the can, I'd have to look at it, but I think it's like you got an hour set time on this. That doesn't mean you want to wait an hour. I didn't wait an hour last time. I think I waited like 10 minutes maybe. Maybe a little bit longer. I think I used my finger as a tester, just kind of to make sure that it's tacky before I. Now my brother did this to his car, and his headliner fell within like a month or two. I'm not sure what he did differently than what I did, but the struggle can be real. Don't want to get this on my sweatshirt. Yeah, okay. All right. I think I'm good because I need the rest of this to go on the other side. So now I'm just going to give it about, maybe about 10 minutes. And then I'll lower it down, smooth it out, and then I'll flip the other side off over and then do the other side. So for now, I'm gonna turn you off. All right, so 10 minutes has passed. I did put gloves on. I'm gonna grab a corner of this. I'm gonna try to do this without getting it stuck, yeah. If this is folding back, oh no. Yeah, well, shit. I guess we're in it. Might be a little off, but that's why I got leftover room. I got leftover room so that if I'm off, I'm trying to work out all the, it's not really bubbles, but you just want it stretched out to, and then I can feel the centerpiece right there. So that centerpiece is kind of where I used as my guideline. So where I know where I'm going to have to pick up. I'll tell you what, the backing doesn't like to undo itself. Well, but what I mean by that is You try to, if you, on this particular stuff, this has got this white felt backing. If you try to undo it, to pull it back off, to reset it, which is what I was trying to do initially, because I was off a little bit, it doesn't like it. It will pull that backing off. But thankfully, I have plenty on the back side and the sides to make up for it being off a little bit. And what I mean by that is I left overhang everywhere, so when it was shifted just a little bit, it still allows me to. All right, I'm trying to talk and make sure I'm hitting all my pieces and pushing them down, because this is the part where if you don't get it right or you miss something, your headliner could be hanging in the balance. And by that I mean sitting on your head. Man, I just love this material. Well, I Googled Alcantara, and this is what I got. But I'm not sure if this is actually Alcantara, because I never even knew what Alcantara really was until... Here we go. Get the front end of it too. Now I'm going to leave a little extra on the front so that it can tuck underneath the trim piece. And I'll do that in the same too. That way the trim helps hold everything up on the edges. See, I don't remember what the old one looked like, because I think it was hanging, and then I pulled it out, and then when I pulled it out, it was, 30 some years ago or whatever. So I don't really know. All right, so what I'm going to do here is flatten this out like this. Stretch these edges where it was curled up. Not that it matters, but I just want them. I don't want anything pulling on it sideways. You know what I should have got it? I should have brought some of them potato chip clamps out here just to hold that thing in place. Well, there you go. Now, round 2. Backside. I think we're back to waiting another 10 minutes so that I can roll this side out. All right, guys, I'm going to freeze you again and let this dry. All right, guys, time has passed. I had this from some PVC pipe from an antenna I made. Well, the leftover from an antenna I made. So I'm going to use it this time, and hopefully I don't screw it up, but I'm going to stick it through, and then I'm going to help try to, we'll see how it works. Stick it through, and then as I pull it through, I'm hoping this will help guide me, yeah, like this. So basically I'm trying to guide it. Since there's only one person, you can almost see what I'm trying to do here. Trying to do it even so it just doesn't flop over, because once it catches it, oh, okay, that's not on the board. I thought it was peeling up, but this is not on the board. Once it catches, it catches. So let me get the edge of this. and then do it this way, and then this way. Oh shoot, I think didn't need it as much as I thought I might need it, but it did help start it, I suppose. Oh man, this is gonna turn out nice. Well, let me rephrase that. This looks nice right now. I won't know until I hang it and then it stays, but I am optimistic that it's going to hold up. I'm just trying to, it's kind of like you got to push down on it. You can push down on it. I just got to be careful not to put this glove on something that's glue and then transfer it over to the top to the Alcantara, because this is like felt. You can see how I'm drawing designs in it. And what I don't want to do is get what do you call it, glue on this, because that will ruin my day, and I'll have to order new material because I don't have enough left. I think I've got enough to do that package tray like I was mentioning. Man, this is, I can't get over how nice this is, this Alcantara stuff. I'm trying to think of what else I can do. Make the whole thing Alcantara. Forgive me if I'm not using the proper nomenclature, but and you know, I shot in the dark with the color. Now it's not that camel color, which is what this is. It's dark, but I like it lighter. It's in the head, but I like it lighter. I prefer the whole interior to be this color, to be quite honest with you. So if you're wondering if this color matches the interior pieces, no, it doesn't. It's lighter. And let me go get a piece so you can just see what the difference looks like next to it. But I don't care, it's the headliner. And it will go with it. It'll go with it nicely. So, I gotta make sure, I gotta get a rag and wipe my hand off now because I just touched that thing, and even though I've wiped them all down, I don't want to spread ugliness onto my headliner. Okay. So the deal is, for me, is I'm going to let this dry out here in the garage overnight. I should get something to make sure no dust gets on it, because I mean, normally I'd like to flip it over, but I got plastic sheets, so maybe I'll put a plastic sheet on it. And so a couple of things I'm gonna have to cut out, which I'm not in a rush right now because I will do it, is you can see right about here is where the dome light goes, and then here, this is for my sun visors. And like I said, I'm not gonna cut this out right now. I may do it, I may cut them out, but for right now, I'm not cutting it out. I'm just gonna hold on to it, and I'll play it as I see it. If I feel like after I'm putting it up there that this needs to be cut up, maybe I just put the caps on, the plastic caps, then that's what I'll do. If I gotta come up with something and make some kind of cap, I'll do that too. Ah, beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, guys. I'm not going to sit here and let you just see me in my lust for this headliner, but it's going to dry. I'm going to leave it dry a day, maybe two. I'm going to cover it with some plastic. I got some sheet plastic here. I'll use it, and then I can always use this for the car somewhere else. Brand new. All right, let's take off this plastic. See how it's actually been 1 day. I'll keep this because I'm going to need this. It's still real good shape. Kind of put it off to the side somewhere. All right, let's feel this. Oh, it feels good. Feels real good. Yes, 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 yes. All right, so I got to cut a hole in it. Got to cut a couple of holes, actually. But the main holes I want to do are the light. I don't want to go too far. Let me get that one. Where's that one? There we go. That's the light. And then I need the holes for the there we go. And that's the holes for the sun visors. Cut them here. Where's this? What? It's right here. All right, that's the hole for the sun visor. Now, I think I'm gonna leave these back things for now, and then as I get on there, then I can cut them out if I want them cut out. So that's the front. This is the back. I'll tell you, this thing hanging upside down sucks up some dust. So what I'm going to end up doing is I got to flip it, slide it through. It'll kind of go over top of the roll bar, or go over top of the roll bar, and then yeah, that's what I'm heading to do. I bought some clips from Harbor Freight. So I got some clips from Harbor Freight, and I'm gonna put them in the front and the back, and that way, as I slide it in, it will help hold up the headboard where the trim would normally hold it up. Just put some here, here, there. Of course, I would throw it, but my luck, it would go right down the speaker hole or something. And then right here. So now, let's just see if I can get it to slide in. All right. You know, I should have put that plastic on the bottom here, and that way I could slide it on and not. All right, let me just set that down without school. So now, it would be easier if there was two people doing this, but I ain't got two people. So where I gotta go with is what I gotta go with. All right. Go on now. Get that there. All right. So I got it in. I got the... Come on. It's sticking. Something's sticking. Something's sticking back here because it's not letting me slide. There we go. Oh, you know what it is? It's these bolts that I forgot to take out. And they're holding us up, I'm assuming. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Oh man, this thing looks nice. This looks nice. I don't even know where the... this, for sure, is going to be a marker somewhere, I'd imagine. No. Oh, there we go, right there. Okay. So right there. That, for sure, is going to get... So there's... These things slide in. And that one's going to slide in like... I think so. Or is it that way? It's got to be that way, right? There, yep, that one slides in like that. And then this one slides in like this. All right, yep. Now, just kind of tuck that up, but what I need to do is get a screw and then start it in this hole. Where's the hole at? Right there. I don't even see, this is the part that's going to be a little hard, tricky, because I don't even know where that hole's at. I can see it here. No, that ain't it. And that drops. What I'm going to do is get a scribe and see if I can get the other hole lined and then push that one in. Okay, so there we go. Get that one lined up. So if I got one lined up, the second one should hypothetically get into position. And where are we at? Right there? Nice. Alright, don't want to tighten down terribly tight. Just snug, because this is plastic. Ah, sweet! Look at that. Now, the true test. Man, I really dig this freaking headliner. I don't know how many times I can say it before you get tired of me hearing it. Or getting tired of hearing me, rather. So for temporarily, what I'm going to do here is, you see these clips, I'm just going to clip up the the ends, just to provide it a little extra support. I don't think it really even needs it, to be quite honest with you, because the roll bar is holding it up. But I do want to use something that I actually bought. Make me feel better about myself. And I think in the front it might need it more than the back. Oops. And you can see how much extra I have in there. I can trim down, and I can do that in a bit. Actually, I'm not going to trim it down yet until I have what do you call it, the trim up. And then go around to this one. And the trim's not going to happen on this video because I got to paint it, clean it. Well, I've cleaned it, but I got to wipe it down, and I want to put it on another video. I just want to get this in place. All right, so, man, that looks sweet. All right, so here's what the deal is. I'm going to show you what it looks like from underneath, because you can see what it looks like up against the roll cage. That's fun, sweet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put, because the battery's been disconnected, what I'm going to do is put this LED bulb in. And this is where it's going to tell you if it works or catches on fire or what have you. So I bought this LED bulb, and I'm going to, oh, you got to be kidding me. Ha! Oh boy, did I screw up. All right, guys, so I put these on the wrong side, or in the wrong direction. You see how they got dimples on one side and not on the other? The dimples are supposed to be in, because the dimples fit these pivots. So I'm gonna take it out and not have you sit there and watch me do it, but I'm gonna do it. All right, guys. All right, guys, I got it swapped around, and it's an LED light, and I've got it. So I got a new cap for it. So let me see if I can put the cap on. There we go. So a new cap and the LED light. So wait, hold on. Just making sure it's on there, because it's yep, it's on there. Sweet. All right, so the headliner is done. So I'm going to close this video off. The only thing I'm going to pick up on later is when I start to do my interior pieces and I clean them up, paint them, and then the trim. I'll have the trim come up, and then the trim will obviously take care of some of this stuff. And like I said, I'm going to end up probably trimming a lot of this stuff off, but I just would rather have extra than not enough. And you see that tab right there? That's probably where it's going to get cut off to. So I'm going to probably have 2 inches to get cut off. But I think it looks awesome myself. And I like the lighter color than the camel. The original camel was darker, so it may light up the cockpit a little bit more. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. This video was a little bit, because I changed my mind midway through it, and so I stopped this video to put in the roll cage, but probably for the best. Not probably, it was for the best. So all right, guys, have a good day, and thanks for watching.